Hi guys, welcome back to the Infernal Plot. As you can see behind me, that beautiful sky, we've had some cracking weather for the last probably 4 weeks. It hasn't been very wet, it's been very dry. So yeah, a lot of things have kind of suffered a bit. And in the heat, especially the greenhouses, it's been a case of having to keep your eye on things and keep the temperature down because it's been getting very warm in there. Unfortunately not warm enough to get rid of the aphids, but I'm working on that one. So I'll take you through the chilies for this year so far. This is the first chili update of 2023, the first proper one, where everything's in the ground and everything's in pots and ready to go, and there's fruit. And right at the very end, I'll show you the progress of my cross, which is coming along actually better than any of the others, believe it or not. So, the small greenhouse. As with last year, all the chilies in here are in the ground. They're growing in a mulch of compost, which is my own making. It's quite weedy. I'm picking out these weeds now and again, that's not a problem. Before the chilies went in, the cover crop on this side was radish, on that side was spinach, and the cover crop at the back here is still the same. It's carrots, which are ready to come out, and they'll be coming out just in a couple of days to let these other plants grow. I have two squash plants either side of a cucumber, and when these carrots come out, that will allow them then to come up. So they were interplanted 2 weeks ago, and the carrots are nearly ready. In fact, pick one now. I know this is a chili update, but yep. There we are. Beautiful carrots. That's nice. They're actually ready to come up now. I was going to leave them to the weekend, but I think I'll pick them today. I'll put that to one side now. So in here we have our usual sort of staples. My peri-peri, my padrons, ring of fire. I don't have many ring of fires this year. With some new additions, I have my guajillo. So I thought I've got poblanos and guajillos, just really to sort of try my hand at Mexican cooking towards the end of the year, and maybe make a few videos out of it, who knows. But I thought I'd give it a go. We've got a jalapeno white. This is a new one. I've never grown these before. I do have all the usual jalapenos that I normally grow, but they're in different areas. The big greenhouse over there, which we'll get to in a minute. I'm trying a red habanero in here this year. Last year I had an ají chombo and it did very well, so I thought the habanero would probably do good in here. This is one of my crosses, being expertly protected by a harvestman spider there, which is good. They'll take care of any aphids. But this one's doing quite well. It's made it split. It's not any fruit on it yet, but I think there were flower buds on it, and I took them off just to let it grow a bit bigger. This is my Chihuahua Negro. This is another one that I want to grow again, along with the guajillo and the poblano, for doing some proper Mexican stuff. I've had these before in pots, and they didn't do very well. I got a few good chilies off of them, and they're really nice dried up, and I've still got the dried ones up the road, but we'll get more of these. I think this is a much healthier plant than I've ever had before, so I think I'm going to get quite a lot off of these. In fact, we've got a little bud on it just now, which I'm going to leave. I gave Super Hots a go in here a couple of years ago, and they didn't do too well, but this Murga Scorpion, I thought I would put it here. I thought maybe the problem the Super Hots have had is that they've been too much in direct sunlight when they've been in these greenhouses, and it's been too warm. So I put this one here. This one gets shaded for a good period of the day by these Jerusalem artichokes, which are outside the greenhouse. The other ones I've got here, I've got two sweet peppers. I've got this one, which is a Alesia, and I've got this one over here, which is an Ajvarski. And these are kale, incidentally, and they're rising up to flower now, so these are going to come out, and that'll allow this Ajvarski to take off a little bit. But those are both from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. I'll try and put a graphic up of those on the screen to let you see what they're supposed to look like. And when you see those, you'll know exactly why I bought them, because they look absolutely amazing. So, big greenhouse. There are 32 plants in here this year. A lot of new sort of ones that I'm trying out. some more. There's a peri peri. You can see the difference between this peri peri and the one that's in the small greenhouse over there that I showed you initially. Just shows you the difference that the pots can make, but these went in a lot earlier than those ones did. I've also got some more. I've got fish peppers this year again, which I missed last year. The seeds didn't germinate for me last year, and I really love these plants. They're beautiful, the variegated foliage. I have a couple more like that. Over here are the tricolour. This one came from Fatali seeds, and it looked interesting. This whole greenhouse, when it bushes out, looks absolutely beautiful with all the foliage and stuff. So I thought I'll concentrate on getting ones that are more like this, more ornamental and useful to grow in here. This is a fluorescent scarlet. It's another one from Patali. I like the look of the fruits on these ones. So it's also going to be very ornamental, even if the leaves are just normal green. This is a Pimenta de Dog. This is also from Fatali. This is another super hot variety. I thought it looked amazing. The fruits look incredible if you go to the website and look them up. The only thing with these is it's not a fully stable variety. I believe it's F6. And then we get to pink habanero. Now, the pink habanero seems to be a favourite with our friend. I don't know what that beeping was. It's stopped now. They seem to be a favourite with our friends the aphids. The pink habanero. Now, I don't believe this is a very hot plant. I don't believe the fruits are very hot, should I say. I'm really going to need to clear these off of there somehow. But I got it again for the ornamental value. Here we have another guajillo. I didn't expect the guajillo to have variegated leaves, although I do believe that that might not be variegation, that might be a leaf miner. We'll see. Another one of my crosses. This one's bushing out nicely in here. I took all of the fruits off up to here, and it's doing quite well. This one has got a little minor aphid infestation. I will squash them on camera. This one here, purple pumpkin. Now, this looks absolutely nothing like the other purple pumpkin, which is also in here. And I do believe that is it there. They look nothing alike. So I don't know what's going on there. I think that's maybe another possibly unstable variety. We've got lemon spice over here, which again, another few aphids on there. That's a jalapeno variety. That'll be good. Here's the jalapeno early, another version. Over here, of course, the farmer's market potato. This is like one of my favourites. I grow it every year. And it's got a lovely big flower on it. Cayenne. Well, the cayennes are usually the ones that get attacked by the aphids. But this cayenne is already better looking than any of the ones I had last year. If you want to have a look at those, look back at my August update from last year, and you'll see the state of those. This is one I grew for the first time last year. This is the Zimbabwe Black, and it was beautiful. The fruits were beautiful, they were tasty, they weren't too hot. Really nice. You could literally sprinkle them in a salad or something. They're that good. Brazilian starfish, my other favourite. When I planted this a couple of weeks ago, it was there. When I went away for the weekend, it was here, and when I came back, it was there. So it's grown roughly about an inch a day, I would say, that one. This is the other Chihuahua Negro. I'm looking forward to that. And for the first time ever, I am growing a capsicum pubescens variety. In fact, I've got 3 varieties of these. I've got this one, which is a Montifar, in the corner of another Montifar, and in the small greenhouse, which I didn't show you, I have a Alberto's Lakoto, which came from real seeds of Wales. And in the corner, Poblano. This is the best one. This is the one that's doing the best. My Poblanos originally, I planted them at home. They got to this size and my cat ate them. So they were a bit behind, but if you look at that one, they've actually caught up quite well. It's growing almost as fast as a Brazilian starfish. So I'm looking forward to see what comes of those. And here we have our usual super hots. Last year the 7 pots did so well for me. The hot chocolates, which are not quite super hot, but they're quite hot anyway. They always do well for me. I don't usually get piles of fruit off of them, but the ones that I do get are great. This is Tabasco. I've never grown Tabasco before. I thought I might as well, you know, grow the you know, the famous ones. So that's that, 32 plants in here. The small greenhouse has 12 plants. So that's what, 44 plants so far. Let's walk over. Broad beans, onions, celeriac. Celeriac? It's not celeriac, that's parsley, sorry. Parsley? It's not even parsley, it's parsnips. And the polytunnel, I made the mistake, probably the mistake, of planting my garlic in here last year, which meant it's kind of going to overlap the chilies going in. But I've interplanted those. The garlic's ready to come out in probably about another 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The garlic will come out. This is soft neck garlic. Ordinarily, I would expect to take this out before now, but I had a dig around the other day and the bulbs aren't very big. So, in here, lettuce, which is being constantly cropped. It's been picked a few times, as you can see down the bottom there. It's due another pick. I'll need to pick that again. But in amongst that, I have a guajillo at the back there that I planted probably more towards the beginning of spring, just to see how it would bear up in here. And it's actually done quite well. I've got a Basque chili here, which is another new one, which I'm growing for the first time. This one I think also came from Baker Creek. I'll double check that. Jigsaw is another one with the variegated leaves, which I'm really looking forward to seeing bush out, and it looks like it's going to start, at least the new growth. On the other side, we have another guajillo at the back that isn't doing so well. This side of the polytunnel, for some reason, never does all that well. I don't know why. Maybe too warm. I think the leaves suffer a little bit here. Maybe there's not enough nutrients in the soil. Maybe I should feed them. I don't know. But this is a peri-peri. As you can see, it's nowhere near as nice as the ones in either of the two greenhouses over there. But we'll stick with it. And that's a cayenne, which is very poor and pathetic looking. So that might not do great in here. The ones that are interspersed in there, I'm not going to dive into that, apart from to say we have a Kashmiri Murch down here, and the Kashmiri Murch did very well last year. And this greenhouse, it was planted over here, and I got tons of fruit off of it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you over to the greenhouse that I refused to make videos in last season and show you the new greenhouse. Okay, we'll get to this one in a minute. But this is the one that I refused to make videos at last year, and the reason for that was because this whole area here, as you can see, this used to be a raised bed outside. Now, when this got to about over here, it was about probably 1.5 feet thick, and the whole thing was covered in nettles, as you can see over there. That was all over here. Now, most of the ground that was in here, I moved to make way for this greenhouse, and it was put into here. So this raised bed was built to take that, and it's not quite finished yet. I still have to dig out all of this stuff, but that's for another day. And so basically the reason I didn't come over here was because it was a kind of a health hazard a little bit. There was plastic laid on it, and when it was raining it was slippy, and you know, carrying the phone or the camera across it was just a little bit dangerous, dodgy. And because there was so much glass lying about over here, a lot of it had been broken, so this whole area was covered in broken grass and very weedy, and you couldn't see where it all was. But now I've made sense of it, so this is a work in progress. We'll get all of this bit sorted as the summer goes on. Now that everything's grown and in the pots, this can all just get sort of done as a side project. But this greenhouse here, which from henceforth on is going to be known as the long greenhouse, because it is two greenhouses fitted together, and it is 14 feet long. There you go. That's the limits of my imagination, the long greenhouse. So in here last year, we always get good crops of things in this greenhouse, which is a shame. Apart from Carolina Reapers, but Carolina Reaper just does not grow anywhere on my allotment in any of the greenhouses. I might try it in that one next year, but we'll see. But In here I've got another Basque chili. So you saw the Basque chili just out and out in the polytunnel. It was a lot smaller than that, but it was doing quite well, and this one's doing fantastically well in here. This greenhouse gets the sun kind of all day, but it gets just enough shade from over there in the evening, you know, to assist it so that it doesn't get too much sun, should I say. I've got a padron in here. Last year the padrons did very well in here, so I'm putting them in again. This is one I'm growing for the first time. I've heard a lot about it. It's an Antep acidoma. They're not a very hot chili, but I believe that they resemble kind of bell peppery kind of things, but they've got a little bit of a kick to them. This is a fuego. Now, interestingly, this fuego was grown from safe seed, and fuegos are F1. So I just want to see what happens. I want to see what the parents look like with these, and see what kind of fruit comes of it. There is no fruit on it yet. As you can see, it's just about to make it split. You can see the bud, the first bud just appearing at the top there. So it's just about to do its split, and things will go from there. We'll see what happens. This is another peri peri. I'm growing quite a lot of these, but I'm growing them in different areas. Same as with my cross. I'll show you that in a minute. And it's really just to see the effects, see where they grow the best. As you can see, from a minute ago there, the polytunnel is not winning that competition. This is a cayenne, and as you can see, as per usual, the cayenne does have the little aphid problem that the cayennes usually have. I've done my best to keep this one clear by knocking them off and spraying them off with water and stuff like that, but this greenhouse here is good. It's got lots of ventilation, permanent kind of holes in it that we just left, and the door is always open, and the predators will arrive soon, so hopefully me flicking off the aphids and the predators arriving will, you know, combine, will be like the Avengers, you know. Cashmere Murch. I didn't grow them in here last year, but this plant looks extremely healthy. They all look really healthy in here. This tricolour doesn't look as healthy as the one in the big greenhouse across by, but there you go. This one here is my cross. Now, this has fruits on it now, as you can see. Now, this cross is between a Chinese dragon tongue and a takanatsume, which a takanatsume resembles more of a bird's eye sort of chili. It's very long, thin, and it grows in little bunches, like hands. And the Chinese dragon tongue grows like that. Now you could say, how do I know that that's not just a Chinese dragon tongue and the cross didn't work? Well, because these seeds were saved from the takanatsume. The takanatsume was the female in this case. So the seeds saved from a takanatsume chili has produced something that looks like a small Chinese dragon tongue, which is awesome. So I've yet to think up a name for these, but I would really, really like that trait to remain, because that's kind of what I was looking for. That's what I was hoping for. So I'm really, really pleased with that one. But as you can see, as I said before, with the cayennes and the peri peri, my crosses are in every one of the greenhouses and the polytunnel, because I want to see if the genetics are affected in any way by the kind of environment that they grow up in when I save the seeds from them later. This is another cayenne, and it also has a little bit of an aphid problem, but this one has a flower as well, which is nice. Now the peri peri, as with the cayennes, we're putting them everywhere. Now puma, I didn't point out the puma that I have in the big greenhouse, but this one's doing really well in here. The pumas always do better in this greenhouse than they do over there for some reason, so we'll see what happens with those. Ring of Fire, first time I've grown it over here, and I'm kind of glad I have, because it's doing better than the other two across there so far. Lemon Spice, another Lemon Spice, I have one of those over there as well in the big greenhouse, and it's doing better than here. There's no rhyme or reason to this, seriously. Criollo de Cocina, that's another sweet pepper. So that's another one that I'll put up on the screen. It's another one that came from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, and it's another beautiful looking sort of fruit that I'm hoping is going to have just as much ornamental value as it is going to have taste value, because apparently they're very, very tasty as well. So, we've been in the small greenhouse, we've been in the big greenhouse, we've been in the long greenhouse, but now we're going to go to the biggest one of all, and this is the one that is newly acquired, newly built, and it's bigger than all the rest. But for some reason, I'm not going to call it the big greenhouse, but I am going to call it the glass house. So this is the glass house, ladies and gentlemen. And in the glass house, we have my 1.5-year-old Bengal Naga Bonchi, which is down for the summertime. And I'm going to move that out of the way for the moment. Just put it outside, so that I can get access. And in here we have a mix of things. We have chilies in the ground, which are all doing very well. There's no door on this, by the way. There is a door for it, and I haven't fitted it yet, but there doesn't need to be a door at the moment with weather like this. We've got quite a large selection in here. We've got sweet peppers like the Ajvarsky. We've got my Kalugaritsas, which are my old favourites from last year. We've got some new super hots, the Goronong, which also came from Baker Creek Seeds. We've got the Datil, which was given to me free, as free seed by Baker Creek, which was really nice of them. And we have Pimento de Dog, more Bengal Nagas, Red Savina, which is another new one, also from Baker Creek. I like those guys. 7-pot yellow in here, and it's doing very well since it got put in the ground. It's doubled in size in a week, which I'm very pleased with. So that kind of bodes well for this area, this setup with things growing in the ground. The Lesia, which is another one of the sweet peppers, the Cruella de Cocina, which is not doing as well in here as it is doing over there. Again, no rhyme or reason to this stuff. Hainan Yellow Lantern, which is the best I have ever seen one in this place. Havana Gold, which basically took over the greenhouse last year. This is the same stage last year. The one in the greenhouse, in the big greenhouse, was covered in fruit, and some of them were on the verge of ripening. But this year, everything's just been slow up until this. I think we're just getting all of the good weather for the year all condensed at the moment into a few weeks worth, because it's not been great up till now. We've got another Guajillo over there, and my only Thai hot, which has just started to take off in here. It's like in that area. Now, if you were paying attention as I was walking around, you would see that there are a lot of chilies in 5-litre pots just hanging about. Why do you have them there, Pete? Why are they there in your greenhouse? And I'm about to show you why. These are all going in bigger pots at some point, but into the other new super acquisition. So as everybody who's been watching my videos in the past knows, this whole area here in my plot, all the way up to the back where we used to have chickens, and if I keep walking up here, I'll show you the new acquisition. I recently obtained the plot next door, and in the plot next door is this. This is an agricultural structure that I think was originally intended to be some sort of lambing shed or something, but the guy who had this plot before me put all the plastic sides on it and put a plastic sheet roof on it and turned it into a polytunnel. And what an amazing thing it is. It even comes with an IPC at the back there. All these water drums that are all connected together to create a watering system that can water this whole place as well. And basically, yeah, I mean, this entire area, the length of the structure is 8 meters. The width of the structure is 5, which gives us 40 square meters of potential growing space. And all of those chilies that you've seen in 5-litre pots over yonder will be going into 10, 11-litre pots in here once I acquire the compost and all of this is cleared and we have the plastic roof on. Now, I have the plastic sheeting that I ordered a few weeks back, and it is sitting down there waiting to go on. And once that is on, this is all going to be grow space. And well, I don't hold out too much hope for this year. So the chilies that are over there, they're all the expendables. They're usually the ones that I would give away. But when I acquired this, I thought I'll put them on and we'll keep them. So, because nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? And I'm really looking forward to working in this space, because I just feel like I can do a lot in here. You know, there's a lot of things that we can do. There's crossbreeding, not just with the chilies, the peppers, but also with the squash, with other things like lettuce. You know, I like to actually try and save seed and experiment with things, and this is going to be ideal. So I'm really looking forward to getting this roof on, and we should do that once this sort of warmish weather goes away and it gets a bit less breezy. We'll get this roof on and off we will go. And I hope that you follow me to see what I do. It's going to be a bit of an adventure. It's going to be interesting. Even if I fail miserably with my intentions, it's going to be probably fun to watch for you guys. But so yeah, please subscribe and, you know, set the alarm bell. There's going to be a lot of content coming with this, with the chilies at large. I'm going to do an update every month with those, in addition to my squash updates. So this year the squash update is just really going to be from this new area, because these are all my squashes and sweet corn, etc. This raised bed behind me is all squash as well, and it should be fun, even if I say so myself. I'm really looking forward to it all. So yeah, please subscribe. If you like this video, give it a big like. If you've got any questions, comments, anything, I like it when people ask me questions. Even if you're trying to correct me on something, please do so. That's what I do this for. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you on the next one.